Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. And so in this video series, we're kind of talking about how you can start to create a community around yourself in a new location and start to become the leader of that community. And in the first video, we kind of talked about the steps of getting your foot in the door, starting to volunteer and meet people and start to align yourself as a bit of a leader in that community, or at least in some aspects. And in the second video, we discussed how you start to actually create a community around your leadership, how you pull in other leaders to help you out, and how you have that A group of leaders, that B group of kind of middle management, and then the C group of your type of laborers, the people who come in and out. So that's all good theoretically, but how do you make that happen in real life? So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I progressed, the kind of journey that I took, and maybe give you guys some concrete examples of the stuff we talked about in the last few videos. So in 2006, I went to Koh Tao, Thailand, and I was there to do a few different projects, mainly make some biodiesel with local, community members, and do some GIS mapping. Very quickly, we started to get involved in a lot of other projects, including like swimming, teaching swimming to kids, doing reef surveys, working with a biorock structure. Every day it seemed like people were just asking us if we could help them out. And the reason for this is we were kind of this group that came in, and we were not stepping on any toes. We weren't trying to tell anyone what to do, but we were just saying, we're here to help. And a lot of people were coming to us and saying, talking about the problems they see around them, the problem of the environment, the problem of the ecosystems that they see, and telling us that no one's doing anything about it. And so when we said, oh, well, we can do this or that, we can help out, then people were very enthusiastic to have us do that. So we were kind of getting more and more jobs, and after like 3 or 4 months, it felt like we really couldn't leave. And that was all volunteer. We were getting some little bit of stipend from the group that we went out there with, but we didn't have too much of an agenda while we were there, and we just kind of ended up helping wherever we could. So when I left the island, I had made an impression on several people. And when I was back in school, I thought, well, maybe I want to go back there and actually create some real marine conservation, initiatives and programs over there that I could do long term. So I had people that I could contact even back home and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What'd you think about that? And so by the time I went back to Thailand in 2007, I already had a kind of an idea about who I was going to be working with. But my idea was, at a very small scale. I thought it would be me and one other person working out of a dive school and just training a couple people a week in this kind of stuff. But, once you kind of get going and you're the only one in the community doing a lot of this, the beach cleanups, and we were making artificial reefs and mooring buoys, and so we're doing a lot of stuff that require us to be on the beach or on the road, next side of the road, and working. And so a lot of people kind of stop by it and see what we're doing, and they're kind of like, hey, what's going on here? Can I help? Can you tell me more about what you're doing? Why are you doing it? All that kind of stuff that led to us in 2008 being asked to head up the Save Koh Tao Marine Branch. So this was the Marine branch of a local community group. By that time, I already had, a good A group around me. I had my business partner, Dev, at the New Haven Dive School. I had one of my colleagues, Shin, who was working as kind of an assistant instructor. And then we had a lot of other community members who were our B group that were just seeing what we were doing and helping out on days, coming for a dive or two. And so when I took over the Marine branch, then I already kind of had a team. There was people to help me spread the word. There was people to help me, be representatives and go out and talk to the community, people who had been there longer and actually knew other people. So they brought in, kind of their B and C groups, and we created this very large conglomerate of interested individuals who wanted to help out. And so that was the Save Koh Tao community group. And we got a lot of great projects done with that. And like I outlined in those other videos, most of the planning, most of the actual, getting permits, getting money, budgeting, coming up with ideas, all that stuff was coming from me and the rest of my A group. And then we had, our B group of the people who were directors or managers or instructors at other dive schools who would come to our meetings and then take that information back to their dive school and then to what would be our C group, get them to actually come on the day. So if we were having a coral transplantation day or an underwater cleanup, I don't have to go and tell 300 people to show up. I have my A group, I do a meeting with them and some of the B group members, and they go out and get all their group to come in, what we would call, in this video series, the C group. So this proved quite successful to be able to do this for many years on the island. And so that's why, we kind of created this video series telling you how to do it. But everyone's going to have their own, kind of unique trajectory through this. And so the main thing is just to remember that, you're doing something good for the community, and that is your main priority. Not stepping on anyone's toes, not overriding anyone, not trying to stand up and be showy, but just putting your head down, doing the good work, and letting people join you when they want. And from this, if your intentions are benign and you are transparent and clear, then people are going to recognize that. People recognize honesty and hard work, and they're going to start coming around to help you. And it won't be so much, having to really try to push forward and to constantly battle to get people to come. If you kind of go through this method where you take it slowly, step by step, don't try to come into a community and expect to have a 300-person underwater cleanup the first time. Do a couple beach cleanups. Figure out who your A group and B group are. And then go for the big, massive island-wide or community-wide cleanups or educational days, different events, festivals, and things like that. Leave that until you have, the proper resources. And in the meantime, just do good. Try to help out where you can. Volunteer your time when you can. Try to volunteer a little bit every day. Just help people out around your area. Don't have to commit to it. You don't have to make it difficult by, setting up times and bringing in paperwork or anything like that. Just walk around your community, see things that need to be done and help out on it. See people who need help and give them a hand. And you'll start to position yourself in a very good way in that community, and in a position where you can then become the leader and start to actually progress a lot of the goals that you have for marine conservation and environmental stewardship. So I hope this video series has been helpful for you. Please comment, let us know, let me know what more you want to hear, what questions you have, and I really look forward to it. So thank you very much again, and we'll see you again soon.